The strategic transformation category. They were faced with total revenue cuts of nearly half, employee layoffs, and an 80% reduction in profits. Instead of giving up a few years ago, and a lot of us went through this, the company redefined what it wanted to be, transitioning to a recurring revenue company. By the way, that is recurring revenue, not reoccurring. I'm sorry, this last 18 years being in the security business drove that into me. Transitioning to a recurring revenue company, the company had to make several changes, defining which new construction work it would pursue and articulating a recurring revenue growth strategy. In the last 5 years, ending December 31st, 2015, it has grown company-wide revenues by an average of 12% per year. More importantly, it has achieved the recurring business growth targeted by increasing profits at an average yearly rate of 16% year over year for the past 5 years. So please welcome Eric Morris to the stage. Eric is the CFO of Wayne Automatic Fire Sprinklers, one of the largest life safety companies in the Southeast. With 6 regional offices, Wayne Automatic offers strategic responses that cover the entire East Coast. They are backed by highly trained employees, state-of-the-art equipment, long-term experience in installing, maintaining, and servicing fire sprinkler and alarm systems, and a strong dedication to the customer. Glad you're here. We had the strategic transformations. That's kind of a big term, and so a little hard to quite understand. I mean, but it was significant what you all went through. So share a little bit about that.
The event that we had that necessitated a strategic transformation was a little thing called the recession. Somebody may have heard about it. For us, the recession was like dancing with a 400-pound gorilla. You don't stop dancing till the gorilla does. So we had to do something radically different. We had to reinvent ourselves. And what we had always been, from the founding, the company's about 40 years old, and what we'd always been is a construction company that happened to do recurring revenue in the inspection, alarm, and service part. And what we had to do very rapidly was to flip that and adopt a new paradigm. And when we did that, we became a recurring revenue company, first, foremost, and primary, who happened to do new construction when the market allowed. And so it was not necessarily a blessing that there was a recession, but it really refocused who we were, and we reinvented ourselves because of that event.
You're about a 60-year-old company, are you not?
Of only 40.
Oh, okay, well, I'm sorry to get ahead of it, though. The fact is that with all the experience you had around you, how hard was that for everybody to grasp? I mean, you got it, others got it, but how hard was it for the rest of your staff to grasp the need to change?
It was extremely difficult to shift the paradigm. Nobody likes change, and people are very scared of it. And even if it's good change and for worthwhile things, people are still scared. And the most difficult thing that we had to do was put out a message to people why we were doing this and how it would impact them. And we were very fortunate that we had the backing of the founder of the company, the owner of the company, and they were there emotionally for us and financially. We made a substantial financial commitment to new technology and new practices and processes during the worst financial year the company had ever had. And we were very fortunate in that transition because it's very difficult. Changing process is much harder than changing technology. And we had some help from a wonderful technology partner with Solutions 360. But what they helped us with was not changing the technology. They helped us change the processes, and changing processes is extremely difficult. And the one singular message that the president of the company kept reiterating was, yes, it's difficult. It may get worse before it gets better, but there's an end in sight. And the part that was so imperative was that end in sight benefits you. And he explained to them the hows and whys of why that change would benefit them. And we got everybody to buy into the recurring revenue. And when I say everybody that's still with us.
There you go. but it also took some guts to make a lot of changes. Did everything go right? Did you make any mistakes along the way in trying to refocus your business?
We absolutely made some mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes we made was not managing perception. I told you earlier that it was so important that we had a singular vision. It had to be compelling. It had to get people fired up. And that was important. The mistakes we made along the way was not to put out the signpost to say, yes, things are going to get better. This is a compelling vision. This is important to the company. But the mistakes we made was to assume that the perceptions were all the same. You have a lot of people, and this goes with any change. This goes with changing systems, changing processes. A lot of people make assumptions about when you're going to get there. And in retrospect, we could have done a better job managing those perceptions so that people didn't have unrealistic expectations. And kind of an analogy is when you do a system conversion, I wish they would absolutely lose the word go live day, because there is no such thing. It is a journey, it is a process, it's not a destination, and it's the same thing with a strategic transformation. It is a journey. You're not going to get there. You're not going to be 100% there with what you want to do with your strategy, but you're going to have milestones along the way. And myself and some of the other people that are part of the management team could have done a better job of letting everybody in on what the milestones are, how we're doing on that journey, and how close we are to getting full realization of that journey. So, yes, I could have managed perception, or as a team, we could have managed perception a little better on the journey.
You heard recurring again this year, and you heard it last year, and everything that we meet and talk about at PSA at some point revolves around building our businesses and leveling that out. And what I heard out of you, all of you tonight, is that everything you did took a bit of courage, and it took a bit of risk that you had to overcome, but it took an investment. And this is just another investment, surely in the recurring revenue part of the business too. At some point, you have to understand that as you carry out your business plan and your sales plan, you'll start getting enough customers. It starts paying for itself and it becomes a machine, but it isn't easy and it doesn't happen overnight, does it? So this has been great information from all of you. I think we owe them a great round of applause for